Good morning, good evening. Today we are going to talk about dentition. We shall define dentition, shall talk about the terms used, shall look at the types of dentition, the dental formula. Thank you. In the previous lecture, we talked about the overview of the oral cavity. I think now you can know that you can now give an overview of all the structures of the oral cavity. Today, we are going to add on. I think if at all I ask you today, what is a labial frenulum, you are supposed to tell me. If I ask you, what is the commensura, you are supposed to tell me. If I ask you, where does the parotid gland, how is saliva from parotid gland able to reach the oral cavity, you're supposed to tell me that salivary duct. If I talk about the salivary duct that allows submandibular gland saliva to reach the oral cavity, you're supposed to tell me. Let's go to today's lecture. If I told you and you didn't watch the first lecture, please go and watch the overview of oral anatomy. We begin. Dentition. This is the characteristic arrangement, kind, and number of teeth in an individual at a particular time. It means we can have dentition when someone is young and dentition at an old age. We have something called heterodont. Here we mean the possession of more than one type of teeth. We talked about the types of teeth last time, where we have premolars, molars, canines, and incisors. So it's a type of dentition where we have all those types, that is heterodont. But you could have some animals that have only one type of dentition. Maybe they only have canines. That is what we call homodont. They possess the same type of teeth and they perform one function. We have what we call diphodont. This is a type of dentition in which two successful sets of teeth are developed during lifetime of an organism. This term means that an organism or an individual, because it is in humans, we have primary, second, or we shall see. We have the type of dentition that is successfully replaced by the other one. So these are the terms we can talk about. Let's go on the types of dentition. The types of dentition. The types of dentition. The types of dentition, we have type number 1. We did this one in our primary level, or P4. But we can add on now by saying we have primary dentition. We can call them primary teeth. Now we can call them deciduous. You can call it milk teeth or baby teeth. What are these? These are the first set of teeth we have in an individual. By the age of 6 months, just 6 months of age, that is approximate. It means that in some babies, we can have them earlier, maybe at 5.5, or we can have it 6.5, but approximately 6 months of age is when we have the first primary tooth coming in the oral cavity. Therefore, from that time, we have primary teeth. They will develop, as we shall see, one by one, up to 2 years, approximately 2 years. They include which teeth? They include incisors. Last time we talked about incisors. They include incisors, they include canines, and molars, no premolars. Kindly note, what do we mean? They are there. We have 2 of them. If at all we talk about the one part of the jaw, it means that we shall have 2 in each quarter of the mouth. We shall have 2 incisors, 1 canine, and 2 molars. Because of those are only 5 times 4, we get 20. In other words, we are simply saying they are 20 in number. 10 in the upper jaw and 10 in the lower jaw. Thank you. We have the permanent dentition. the permanent dentition, or what you call adult teeth. These ones are 32 in number. It means we have 16 in the upper jaw and 16 in the lower jaw. If I tell you divide the mouth again into left and right, it means we shall have 8 in this quarter, 8 in this quarter, 8 in this quarter, and 8 in this quarter. We shall see that one in details. They include which one? They include incisors, they include canines, they include premolars, and they include molars. We didn't have premolars in this one. So as a learner, we can be asked which type of teeth are not in the primary dentition. Please note, we do not have premolars in the primary what? Dentition. At the age of approximately 6 years, there is another tooth which we call a wisdom tooth that is going to come later between 17 and 25 years. So in others, we are saying these permanent teeth are going to go from 6 years of age up to 17 or 25 years of age. They include which ones? They include, if at all we use the upper jaw only, 4 incisors, 2 left, 2 right, canines, 1 left, 1 right, premolars, 2 in the left, 2 in the right, then 6 molars, 3 in the right, 3 in the left. Those are the 2 types of dentition. Remember we said dentition, we are talking about the characteristic arrangement, kind, number of teeth, but at a particular time. So at a particular time, we shall find that we have what we call mixed dentition. What is mixed? We said that we shall have development of, or shall have eruption of teeth, or an individual having teeth from 6 months up to 2 years. Then we shall also have teeth at 6 years. So we shall have a time when we are having permanent teeth erupting between 6 years of age until when they keep developing up the age of around 12 to 13. They keep developing. Remember, as they are developing, the other ones, the primary teeth, are moving up. So in that period where we have both permanent and primary, that is what we call mixed dentition. In mixed dentition, we are having a dentition of both primary and permanent teeth. In that mixed dentition, we shall have a terminology called succedaneous teeth. So what are succedaneous teeth? The word succedaneous means succeeding or replacing. Replacing means that there was something before and another one is being in the place. Take an example. If we have primary teeth, we said primary teeth first of all, we shall have in maybe a half, we have incisors, 2 incisors. We said we have 1 canine in 1 quarter of the mouth and 2 molars. I repeat that we do not have premolars in the primary dentition. So it means that I'm still explaining succedaneous teeth. When teeth are erupting, they are not going to force away teeth all once at a time. But we shall have the first tooth erupt. This is primary dentition. I can say this is maybe the opposite side. We also have in the upper jaw, we have the canine, molar, and molar. So it is time for eruption. We shall look at eruption in details, and we shall define eruption when we reach there in the next video, as the movement of teeth from their position in the jaw to the position in the oral cavity. Remember, these teeth are already formed, but now we are on dentition, how they appear in the mouth, their characteristic kind at a particular age. So now, with the first tooth which will erupt a permanent tooth will be this one, the first molar. So the first molar is going to come. Remember, it is coming in a position where there was nothing, no one, where there was no other tooth. So this is a tooth. This is a permanent tooth. These ones are primary teeth. Another one which is going to appear, and a second tooth which is going to appear second as this erupting is going to come from the central incisors. These central incisors. So as they come, now they are going to appear in green. These are permanent what? Permanent teeth. So in this period, okay, which they shall keep being replaced. These ones come be replaced by these ones. These ones come be replaced by these ones, but at different ages. So at a time, for example, maybe around 7 years of age, we shall have primary, this in green and this in black, the permanent and the primary. So this time between 6 up to the age of 13. Why the age of 13? Or you can say stroke 12. Why the age of 13? This is the time when we are likely to have the last tooth being replaced, and that is the canine. So the time between when the first permanent tooth comes in the oral cavity of a baby or a child, up to the time when the last of all these appears in the oral cavity as being replaced, that is what we call mixed dentition. Mixed dentition. So it means that when we have the first permanent tooth coming, we still also have the primary teeth. And they are not going to come at once. One will come when it reaches time for the other one to erupt. It will come, dislodge the other one, appears in the mouth. But there are some teeth here. For example, the molar, this first molar here, which is coming in a mouth, which in a position where there was no tooth before. So such a tooth here, it is not replacing any tooth. And it means that it is not succeeding. I can easily call it non-succedaneous tooth. I hope I'm clear. For all these teeth, for all the teeth that appear in the mouth as permanent, they are going to be replacers of the primary teeth. I repeat for clear understanding. Succedaneous teeth. Succedaneous teeth, they are succeeding teeth. In other words, if we have the primary dentition, we said we have one incisor, another incisor, we have a canine, we have a molar, and a molar. What happens that as they are being replaced, because we said we have 5 we have 5 in one quadrant, rather in one quarter, but for permanent they are 32. It means that for them they are going to be 8. It means that as they are being replaced, I replace them with the green. We shall have this one being replaced to form this one, another one, incisor. The incisor being replaced by permanent incisors. The canine being replaced by the permanent canine. Remember, we didn't have premolars. So we have now permanent premolars. The permanent premolars The permanent premolars are replacing primary molars. I repeat, the primary molars are being replaced by the permanent premolars. Then we have this area here, which was vacant, or where there was no tooth. We shall still have what? The 3 molars. In other words, these teeth here, all these teeth that have replaced the primary teeth, these are called succedaneous teeth. And that's why we are saying that we have incisors, canines, and premolars. Permanent ones. Incisors, canines, and premolars. Then, for all molars, all permanent molars, it means we have 3 here, 3 this side, 3 here, and 3 here. All permanent molars, they are non-succedaneous teeth because they appear in the mouth where there was no primary tooth. Thank you so much. Yes, then we have what we call dental formula. Dental formula, we are saying dental formula is the number of and arrangement of teeth in humans. We said we have in one side, suppose I divide the mouth into 2 left and right, we shall have incisor 2 upper and 2 lower, canines 1 upper and 1 lower, molars 2 upper and 2 lower. We said for premolars here we have 0, 0. We don't have premolars in the primary dentition. So what if, for good mathematicians, we shall say this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, these are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are 10 times 2, it means we shall have how many? 20 teeth. These ones, how many? These are 2, this one, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 times 2, these are what? Are 32 teeth. So this is the dental formula for primary teeth, and this is the dental formula for permanent teeth. Thank you so much. So in this presentation, you're supposed to define primary teeth. You're supposed to give us dental formula. They are supposed to ask you in maybe your objective questions, what are succedaneous teeth? You're supposed to give me the explanation. You're supposed to give also the terms. Diphodont, what does it mean? We said for these ones, it means having 2 successful sets of teeth that are developed in the lifetime of an organism. In the next lecture, we shall talk about nomenclature or naming teeth. In case you have any problem with this, with understanding any of this, you can put in the comments, and you can put your email address or WhatsApp number. We can be able to reach you and explain to you this one in details. Thank you so much.